Here we are in my kitchen. It's the cultural epicenter of my kitchen, definitely my flat. So I'm fortunate enough to have the wonderful Yulia here, and she has agreed to teach me how to make borscht. Did I pronounce that? Mm-hmm. Say again?
Borscht.
Borscht, okay.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you. It's a Russian hearty soup. Yulia's from an area of Russia known as Kamchatka. It's the Russian Far East. Can you tell us a little bit? Tell me a little bit about Kamchatka, Yulia. Share. Someone's uncomfortable on the camera.
Okay. Okay, let's start from the beginning.
No, we're not starting over. I edit all of it out.
Okay.
So just.
You can cut it later.
The reason I'm asking is I want to know the history of this soup, and that's what.
It's definitely not from this area.
That's fine, but
it's from Ukraine actually. It's not even the Russian one.
So we have ingredients are potato, carrot, beetroot, red bell pepper or capsicum, onion, cabbage, sour cream, and a bit of tomato paste. So what do we do to all these ingredients?
But you also can have meat as well. So as I'm vegetarian, so we're going to have a vegetarian soup.
Doing a vegetarian version.
Yeah, so it's pretty much everything what you have in your fridge from vegetables. So you just need to peel everything first, and then we need to peel and cut potato, put it into the pot. Then we need to cut the cabbage and add it to potato later on. So we also need to grate.
What do we do first?
Beetroot.
What do we do first? Potato?
Potato.
Didn't you just say we do the onion and?
No, the first will be potato because it is actually it takes longer to cook.
Step 1: peel the potatoes. All right, Yulia's just informed me that it's really important that you peel the potatoes. You have to peel the beetroot. Does it have to be fresh beetroot or can it be canned?
No, fresh.
Got to be fresh beetroot. And do we peel the carrot too, I assume?
Okay. Onion?
Yeah, obviously onion. Okay. I'm doing all this now. So for about this size pot, I'm using 2 potatoes, 2 beetroot or 1? 1 beetroot, 1 onion, 1 carrot, half cabbage.
Half onion, half cabbage, and obviously half bell pepper.
Half cabbage, half onion, half bell pepper. All right. We're also putting into this bouillon. This is vegetable bouillon. How many? 2? 2 vegetable bouillon cubes into this size pan. You mentioned that you can also use meat. So what types of meat would be common in this dish in Russia?
Chicken or beef.
Chicken or beef? No, chicken. Oh, that's interesting. So like just chunked, or like a minced, or?
Mostly like the meat.
Like
can be
steaks
or.
I was saying before that every time you've made this, it's a very, very savory and flavorful dish. But I've noticed you really don't have that many ingredients. So that's, as much as I love cooking, that's not something I've been very successful at doing, is making something very flavorful with just a few ingredients. Does all the beetroot go into the pot at the same time, or?
No, the half of it only.
Okay. And why do you do that?
Just to keep the nice color of borscht.
Color, okay. I see. What do you do with the remaining half of the beetroot?
Well, you fry it with carrot, onion, and bell pepper.
So half the beetroot goes in the boiling pot, half goes into carrot, onion, bell pepper to be fried. So we'll need another pan, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now chopping the cabbage. Do you reduce it further than that, or that stays about that size?
It stays
about that size?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you?
So it shouldn't be really thick.
Okay.
It shouldn't be really long. So
Yeah.
you just try to kind of like change the angle.
Yeah, I see. Do you ever use red cabbage, or is it green cabbage is better?
No, red cabbage is much more harder. I found it.
Harder?
Yeah, it's kind of like the
Fiber.
texture is it maybe.
Firmer, I see. And this goes straight into the pan?
No.
No.
We need to do one thing before it goes to the pot.
What's that?
We need a bowl and we need a little bit of salt.
Ah, so kind of similar to how you'd start out a sauerkraut. Salt and
A little bit,
cabbage.
yeah. Just because it when you just add some salt, it gives a little bit of juice.
Yeah.
It will be much more soft and nicer in the soup.
Kind of macerates it, sort of. What do you do with the juice?
It's not going to be like a lot of juice.
Yeah.
So it will be just a little bit of.
Okay, a bit of salt and a bit of salt and cabbage in a bowl, and it just kind of breaks it down. I see. Before it goes into the pot. Sauerkraut. Kimchi actually as well. I just put maybe not much, like a teaspoon of salt into this. Not even half of a cabbage, maybe. It's more like a quarter of a cabbage. That was enough salt?
That's good.
That's good? Oh, okay. I barely touched it then. Okay. Do we let it sit or?
Sit while the potatoes start like cooking. We need it half ready. So
Half ready.
Half ready, and then we'll add cabbage. But right now we can do the rest stuff.
Okay. So the cabbage goes in when the potatoes are halfway cooked, right?
Yeah.
All right. Next step. So half the onion, diced it up, goes into the frying pan. Half the bell pepper gets diced up, goes in the frying pan. Carrot is grated, frying pan. Beetroot is grated, frying pan. We've added a number of things: tomatoes, just a few tomatoes, some garlic, parsley. Also a bay leaf, ideally, but I don't have any, unfortunately. So, was there anything else you forgot?
You can add pepper as well.
We're sautéing the onion, half beetroot, 1 carrot, half capsicum, and a few cherry tomatoes. When do we put the garlic in?
A little bit later.
A little bit later. So do you basically boil the garlic, or do you fry the garlic?
Yeah, there are two ways. You can put it with the onion.
Yep.
Or I usually just take 2 cloves and just
You boil it?
cut it and put it into
I see. Okay.
pot.
Tomato, onion, half beetroot, capsicum is sautéing nicely. We'll shortly put a tablespoon of tomato paste into that sautéing, and then when do we put that all into there?
As soon as it is ready.
As soon as it's sautéed properly. You were just saying how it's actually a Ukrainian dish then, right?
Yes.
And there's basically an infinite variety of borscht, but this is just Yulia's interpretation, iteration.
Everyone has their own way of cooking this.
This is a classic ethnic dish, right?
Yeah.
But I really like your version, and I think I've only had maybe 4 or 5 versions of borscht. So a Norwegian friend of mine did that. So taking 1 raw clove of garlic into the soup.
Again, you can also fry it with the onion. Okay. So
we've combined all the ingredients here. Now we're adding just a bit of seasoning, salt, pepper. Yulia was parsley. Yulia was saying about how fresh dill ideally, but that's kind of hard to find in New Zealand. I'm trying to find it; it's difficult. But put a bit of dill into your soup. Go for it.
And parsley.
And parsley, yep. So quite a bit of dill. And a lot of parsley as well. Alright, we simmered this for about 20 minutes. Yulia added a little bit of dried basil a little bit ago, just as a personal preference, but she also said that this will be actually a lot better tomorrow, much like different dishes, your chilies and such. If it sits overnight, it's just the flavor gets deeper, but yeah. She also said that you have to be careful not to cook the vegetables too long. So with it, you stir in some sour cream. Looks fantastic. Nice. Thanks, Yulia.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy milk.